Good morning, traders, and welcome to another week of live trading. On this channel, we predominantly trade the E-minis, the ES, with occasional deviations to NASDAQ, maybe crude oil, but mainly ES. Let's take a quick look at what happened since Sunday night. And at first glance on the 1 minute, it looks like we're in an uptrend, but of course you take a glance over to the 5 minute and it's clear that we're in a serious downtrend since yesterday evening. So is this a reversal or is this just a pullback? My hunch is that this is just a pullback. If you look on the 5 minute, maybe we pull back to 58 for our next leg down, but who knows? We'll just have to watch it. Crude oil actually was, whoops, where'd it go here? Had a nice drop, but reversing a little bit now. This is sort of a reversal pattern for sure. Break, new low, back up above the 21 EMA. This looked like it would have been a nice long, but you see that it failed. The long maybe up around here, and you see it immediately failed on us. But that's crude oil. Go back to our 1 minute. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes. We'll see what we have. Added another funded account last week on Apex. So we'll be trading that one with micros in the background. While we while we trade a couple of other valuation accounts with full-size E-minis. Looks like today I'll trade 2 of the evaluation accounts. A few more I wanted to complete, and then we'll probably hold off. I want to have a total of 10 funded accounts, so I'll be working those 2 at a time, but that's neither here nor there. We're just trying to take good trades. Doesn't matter if I make, as far as your perspective, it shouldn't matter if I make $20 or $2,000. It's just we're trying to study these trades and see if we can become better traders. And once you get a reliable strategy and you can execute it reliably and consistently, you can scale up to as much as you want, as much as your account can handle. You know, if you can make $20 every day over the, 250 days of the trading year, then you can scale it up, go to micros. From micros go to minis, and from minis add 2 contracts, 3 contracts, 4 contracts, 5 contracts, whatever your account can handle. It's all about the trade, isn't it? If you can trade consistently, you can always scale up. That's my theory. It belongs to me. Got some consistent hits at the bottom of this trend. I think we're going to run into something right up here. If you look on the 5 minute chart, we have an area here of consolidation. So if we're breaking out of this, we might get to the top of it, and you can see on the 5 minute we have a high here at around 58-ish. So I would hesitate to go long into it until we see what happens. Perhaps we could watch it break through it, come back, and then bounce off of it. That'd be one idea. The other idea is we could just keep playing these EMAs and get a pull away from the EMAs and play the pullback to them. take a look. I think I have my volume profile. Yeah. Ooh, you know what? We need to change the date on that. This one's been building since the 27th, so we don't want that. We just want current day, which is today. And that'll take a minute or two to calculate. Yeah, most of the activity has been in this area, it looks like. Did that update that quickly? Huh. It's a little surprising. All right, market's going to open in a minute and a half, and then we'll figure out what's what. Right now, I'm going to go fill my coffee and get ready for the open. I probably won't take any trades for first 10 minutes or so, but we'll see. If something obvious comes up, we might jump in, but we'll see. All right, let me take a break here. Let me put my little sign up. Where is it? Oh, here it is. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am back and the market is open. Getting a bit of a move up here. And as I said, we have an area of some congestion here or at least some consolidation that if we break above it, we might have a chance. But it's likely to get stuck there because of this move higher, this whole area right here. Looking at about 58 if we can convincingly break above here. Yeah, this fell off. This fell off pretty fast. We probably could have expected this to work its way back up here. We're above the VWAP on the 1 minute build. The volume's building right here at 59 as we expected. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So, right now my possible thesis would be to watch this thing rise up, maybe a little pullback, and then head up. Maybe looking for that overnight open, possibly all the way up to this next pivot point. it's pretty much stuck here. But again, as we expected here. Clearly were a lot of sellers here that drove it down on the 5-minute overnight pretty aggressively. Went back up to it, tapped into it. I guess that would be an area of supply, and it rejected it pretty nicely. Yeah, it's holding it. At the very least, we're going to have to satisfy all these sellers that were sitting here. Once everybody gets what they wanted, then maybe we move up. Still a lot of volume. Looks like there was some demand up in this area here. So if we get through this, we might be able to tap into this area of possible demand and head up. But we've got to get through this area here. This area here, we had a lot of sellers. So they may still be there. Everybody may not have gotten their sells that they wanted to, and now they're trying to get them now. Once we get out of these, we head into this area here. We might have some room up to the open. On the other hand, we could just sell off. You see that overnight, this is generally a bearish trend here, so we probably want to, we could very well just head back down too. Just above all the EMAs, you can see they're starting to fan out too. We're above the VWAP, so things are kind of looking good for a move up, but who knows? Sit and watch it, let it settle down a little bit. Right now, I think that if we can break through this area here, we could easily move up to the overnight open or even as high as this pivot point. Yeah, once we get through this area, we have some room to run here a bit. There are some areas here to get through. We'll see. Will she break out or will she return? Again, you know, looking at the big picture, this was a pretty convincing downtrend. So this could just easily be a pullback. Let's take a look at what if we were to look at this Fibonacci's here. Well, yeah, the 50% could still get us back up to here, which is, see, there was some volume put in here. So if we want to try to play a breakout here, once we get through this area, we might be able to run up at least to the 50%, which is about 75, 40, 75. Let's keep our eye on it. Still volume building here, so eventually hopefully we'll break through it. I'd be interested in that trade, I think. But we need to get through here. We're still basically just consolidated here. You see the volume's building, but the price isn't moving very much. So at some point, we're going to run out of buyers or sellers. And I'm guessing we're going to run out of sellers. I'm going to try to go long around 64. We'll keep our stop relatively tight. We're in this trade. Let's see if she moves before she stops us out. Kind of struggling. We'll see if she takes off here. Just watching this. Trying to not get into trouble with it. Just watching it. We got our take profit set at 5 points. We'll keep an eye on it, see if we want to stay with it or not. What do you say? Something didn't get filled right here. This didn't get filled. Well, that's stopped out, but none of the accounts got filled anyway. That was $150. I'm going to try to get back into this. Let me take this screen off to make sure it's set up right. I'll pull it back up. Yeah, I didn't have I didn't have the right sim account turned on for the trader, which turns out to be a lucky mistake, but all right, that's set properly now. The only reason I pull it off the screen is I'm trying not to display account numbers. Not that I know what would happen anyway, but we're going to try to get back in again. But now we'll take that mistake as an opportunity to get in at a better price, maybe. Thesis hasn't changed. Maybe now we'll wait for this pullback, maybe to 9 EMA. Still think we're going to go up here, but we'll just take advantage of this. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a pullback down here to the 9 EMA, which is at around 58, 59. I want to get back into this long. Probably should just get in right here. This thing's going to go. I'd like to wait for it to pull back since we were given a second life on this. This is the 3 minute. Let me go over to the 1 minute here. Oh, wait a minute. High here, 62. This bar closes below the 9. It may mean we're not going. Oh, maybe so. High 61 and a quarter. Missed it again. What is going on here? Oh, crap. I know what happened. Damn it. I don't have anything going here. I have the global simulation mode set on. We're having a very bad morning here. All right, so... Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, I can't believe I missed this trade. Come on, little pullback, baby. Little pullback. Just a little pullback, and we'll get back in here. Oh. What is the matter? Technical difficulties. Do I FOMO into it? Let's wait for a little pullback to here, maybe. Let's see if we can get in here. I'm in a tick above there here. We'll see. I might have to move my stop a little bit, though. Because this thing could pull all the way back to the 9 before it heads out. I feel like if I just jump in here, I'm just be FOMOing in. I need another pullback. I can't. Probably good till about 72 at this point anyway. Yeah, 72. We're going to possibly get a little bit of resistance. What a beautiful trade that would have been. Well, I hesitate to FOMO in here, so I'm going to try wait for another pullback and see if we can. I think we're still good, and we just hit that resistance here. Maybe we're going to head for the overnight open. See if we can get a pullback to 65-ish and at least take it back to 70. Possibly hold it to 77. We're bumping up against this peak right here on the 5-minute. There's that pullback. See if we get back down to the 9. If we do get a decent setup at 9, maybe we'll go long. Maybe just get in because we have this area right here. Something like that, maybe. I think this is strong enough that it may not even get that pullback. This bullish bar here might not be a bad place to just go long. But this area here on the 5-minute is definitely an area of congestion, so might get stuck here for a while. Maybe we'll get a decent pullback to 67, 65. Or it can just go. I'm getting very FOMO feely. Still waiting for a pullback here. Get back in. See, we did enter here at 62. Got stopped out, even though it didn't actually fill my accounts, but it still would have stopped out. Rode all the way down. Actually, I'm not sure where we got in. But you can see it ran from where our entry was at 62, almost over 10 points. And I really want to get in on this because I think we're still going to go test this overnight open. We're getting the lower highs here. Just so trying to be safe and not FOMO into this. Maybe wait for a pullback to the 21 EMA, which lines up nice with this top here. Pulling back. This is not bad. Big pullback. Wow. Below our original entry. I'm going to go ahead and take this long at 65.5 maybe. Not rejecting. All right, well, now we have to hold off and see what's going on because that was a pretty big dump right there. I may have FOMO'd into this, but we'll keep an eye on it and see if it will stay above the EMAs. Right now I'm just hoping to get 5 points, which would be the top of this range here. At some point I will move that stop above break even. Right now it's too close. Just watching. Hopefully we'll get our 5 points. Just watching this. We're up about 3 points now. We're looking for 5. Probably should even let it run beyond that up until the overnight open, but I'm going to just take my 5 points if I can get it. Kind of stuck in this area. Hopefully we'll get moving. Come on, let's go. Let's just close this thing out. 72. 72, baby. Keep going. Let's go. Here we go. Come on. Oh my God, are you kidding me? One tick. I don't believe this. And we're out. That was 5 points. 4 accounts. 2 of them were E-minis. 2 of them were micros. So we are up at the moment. If you care, 540. Trying to get this so I can bring this over for you. So there we go. These top 2 obviously were E-minis, and these 2 were micros. Total $540. All right, we'll just sit and watch it. We probably could have sat on this thing for the rest of the day, but there's a lot of resistance here. So it's best to just bank our 5 points. And it does look a little toppy here, doesn't it? Like we could get like sort of an M formation where it drops off and goes back down. Nope, and she's going. As we had discussed, it was probably going to test this overnight open. I'm gonna put a video together for a neat little toy I built that you might be interested in. It's a handheld panic button that taps in to flatten everything. You can hold it in your hand with a little red button and just sit there, and if things go, you don't have to be looking for your Control Z or your right click and flatten everything. You just push the button and it flattens everything. I just have to edit it and I'll put it up there. It's kind of neat little project. Cost you about $15 in parts. Yeah, it looks like we're going to touch that overnight open. Right now, I think we'll just stay put and see what our next setup looks like. This was quite a drop down here, didn't it? It looked like it was going to aggressively head up, and got this big old red bar here. And I originally I've had my buy right above the 21 ENA. I sort of chickened out, and then just decided to FOMO in just above the 9 EMA, and turned out to be good. That was a sloppy beginning, but at least we ended up taking advantage of our original thesis. First, we had problems with didn't have the right leader account set. Then I had my safety on, which is what I call that global simulation mode, like the safety on my gun. And so I had to turn that off, and missed a few entries because of all that. But we finally did get in on this, and we did we make it? Yep, we touched that opening of the overnight. Might reject that. You see on the 5 minute there's quite a bit of congestion right in that area, so it's hard to say if it's going to break through that, but could be looking for the highs, the overnight highs too, which is this green line on the 1 minute. Yeah, we could have sat on that and really gotten no real heat on it. But the other problem is with some of the accounts that we traded, those are evaluations, and remember that's a trailing stop loss. I mean, it's a trailing drawdown. So if we run up and we hold it too long and it pulls back on it, we're losing some of our drawdown as a result, even though we were up. That's another video on my list, is how the trailing drawdown works on these evaluation accounts. Basically, it's like a high water mark where it trails you. It'll always be at 2,500 off of your highest point. And if you actually let your winner run and it pulls back, that high point that you had reached is still where the drawdown is going to be measured from. Hey there, Danny. I just saw you. I'm not used to even people putting anything in the chat. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you could join us. Right now, we're just going to have to wait this out, because at the moment, it's not clear to me whether how much more we're going to get out of this. This could run all the way back up to the overnight high, but you can see on the 5 minute, there was a lot of congestion in here, both from coming from the down. It held, broke through it, and now we're back touching it again. So there's a good chance that we're going to be stuck here and possibly even reverse. Just tuned in, we picked up 5 points on this move. We entered here in this little blue triangle at 67, got out 5 points higher at 72. We played 2 E-minis and 2 micros on 4 different Apex accounts. If you're considering opening up a Apex account, I'd appreciate if you use our affiliate code there, so it won't cost you anymore, but a little something comes to help support the channel. I think that they're having a half off on all their accounts right now if you use my account. If you use my affiliate code. It's on the screen. It's scrolling at the bottom, also in the description. All right, so we got this pullback, and you could consider going long above this red bar. I'm not going to do it only because of all this congestion here and the overnight open. Because if you look back at this chart overnight, I mean, this is clearly bearish. But I'm hesitant to repeat what I just did, but I was basically wanting to pull up the Fibonacci's to look for a 50% pullback, but we can do that by 109 by just doing the math ourselves. So that's about 60, about 70, so about 35 points. That puts us back at about 75. Yeah, so that's the 50% retracement on this run from overnight. So that may be it for this run. We may be looking for a reversal setup now, because this was a pretty strong bear trend here. So this may just be a 50% retracement, and then we head back down for another leg. On the other hand, we could just play what's in front of us, which is just a pullback, and then we'll go up again. I just don't know what's left in this. Even if we were to take this trade, which is a halfway decent setup, this pullback to the 9, we go, unless this thing closes below the 9, which is, wait a minute, we're on 3 minute. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Yeah, see, on the 1 minute, we're below all these EMAs. This looks like a halfway decent reversal pattern, really. Let's put up some lines here, see what she looks like. That doesn't look bad. We have a couple hits here, and hits here, and now we've broken. Yeah, Nas looking really weak here. Pulled back all the way to this swing low. So now this could easily just retrace all the way back to lows of the day. So we're going to have to just sit and wait for our next setup. Let this decide what it wants to do. Is this just a overshoot and now we're going to be looking for a new high, or is this a reversal? On the 3-minute, this is still looking bullish. This is just a nice pullback to the 21. But if we flip over to the 1-minute, she's looking weak. We're below the EMAs. But this red line is basically the 21 EMA on the 5-minute. This is the 21 on the 1-minute. And we're sort of between the two on this 1-minute chart. Now, I'll pull back all the way to this 105, which is the 21 on the 5-minute. Could also be a decent place to go long, at least for a few points, maybe even take full 5 points. But if she breaks through, maybe we'd be looking for a pullback and to go short. But right now, I'm just, when I flip through my 1-minute to the 3-minute, and one looks bullish and one looks bearish, then that leaves me confused. We can go to our 2000, which is also, might give us some information. Let me see here. Let's see here. This red bar here looks like it was a second entry short, if I'm looking at that right. Yeah, this is second entry short on this bar here, but you see it. Let me see. Yeah, that completed for a point. So if you're just scalping for a point, that second entry short worked out. See if I'm right about that. 67 and a half, so 67 and 65 and a half. Yeah, and now you really definitely would have gotten it because your stop would have been way up here. Yeah, that second entry short paid off. That's on the 2000 tick. This, I believe, is our VWAP, right? Yep, that's our VWAP. So we're getting close to the VWAP. You could play the VWAP bounce here. Didn't actually hit it though. Yeah, this is not it didn't quite touch the 105, but yeah, this red line is frequently a good place to take a scalp. You can see got a couple places where you could have. Basically, that's the strategy here would be to watch it break through and then put your buy a tick or two above it, so when it rips through you can pick up a few points. You can see that typically works. But you have to wait for the rejection because you can see it can rip right through it too also. But, you know, if you're like here, right, this area here probably wouldn't have paid. But most places it does. That's on the 1 minute. We could try it, but right now we really haven't even touched it yet. Now the question is, are we in a bear trend now, and is it worth taking these shorts? Now, it's not. You like to see a little more separation between this and these EMAs before you do the pullbacks. I mean, these are sort of just micro channels, really. Man, look at the NASDAQ. This is the NQ right here. I keep it up there just for reference to see if it's leading. If it's leading, we're gonna see the ES follow it, I think, which it basically is already doing. And that, I believe, is the overnight low. This red dashed line on the NQ. Let me check this. I'm checking to see if there's any weird news here. Today is Monday. Now there's nothing really up here. That would be, no, I've got nothing here. Today is Monday the 30th. No. No, I've got nothing. So if we were going to play this, we could go a couple ticks above this 105 and try to get a couple points out of it. But I'm kind of playing my P&L a little bit. That was a nice trade that we took earlier, and we're up about $550 or so. So I'm hesitant to take any risky trades. And this thing is coming down so hard that I'm afraid that we're just not even going to, even if we did break a little above this 105, that we wouldn't really have anywhere to go. Yeah, there's a lot of this consolidation lines up right with that 105, so it might not have much room to go. On the other hand, if you look at just your 1 minute chart, if it breaks above here, we might pull all the way back to the 21. But if all you're looking for is a point, you basically just need to move from there to there. Just get back to the 9 EMA and you'll pick up your $50 per contract. And there's a lot of reason to believe that that is a support area right here too. That looks pretty good. Let's just watch it and see if it would have worked out. So we would have been in right around here. Let's call it 63, just to be on the safe side. Say we got in at 63. This is just a hypothetical, just for educational purposes. Yeah, so that's nice. That works out quite frequently. So 68 would have been our 5 points, but we certainly got a point or two out of there. $68 would have been a lot to ask for because that's above the 21 EMA. I think on a trade like that, I would probably just stick with 1 to 2 points. If you figure 2 points, that's 8 ticks. That's not bad. Even if you went 2.5, let's call it 10 ticks. So that would have been 65.5. Yeah, that made 10 ticks. But yeah, that's something to pay attention to. Those are decent trades, especially a nice shot through the 105. Wait for it to reject, take it a couple ticks above, and then grab it for 10 ticks or so. Or if you want to be really conservative, just pick that up for. You could actually just go in with extra contracts. Go 2 or 3 contracts and try to just pick up 1 point. That's $150. sitting at the bottom of this high volume area here. As we discussed in the past, these low volume nodes can serve as support or resistance, and it's hard to get through those. But once they start the breakthrough, they move pretty quickly through them to the next higher value node. Yeah, this is still looking pretty heavy, isn't it? Definitely getting stuck in this area. What do we have to the left? All right, so it's getting stuck at the top of this area right here on the 5 minute. If you look at this big picture, this looks like it could easily make its way all the way back down to the low of the days. Just watching, trying to get an idea of what direction we're going. We're kind of stuck in the middle of these VWAP and EMAs and stuff, so it's hard to tell which direction we're going to head from here. Was this just a pullback of this run up in the morning, or are we just continuing this overnight downtrend? Because this met this pulled back about 50% of this run down here, but now this appears to be about 50% of this run up here. So this could just be a pullback to the 50% Fibonacci, and then we're going to head back up, or we're just going to continue on down. NASDAQ looks pretty heavy. Yeah, our 15-minute bars these are some pretty heavy duty 15-minute bearish bars. That's the 1 hour. I see a pivot point here at 57-ish, 58. For what it's worth, I don't really pay that much attention to the MACD, but it's a nice additional piece of information when you are about to take a trade, and it certainly is looking bearish. A lot of bearish volume here. But my strategy typically involves pullbacks, so we'd want to see this thing really dive down and then pull back to our EMAs and then look for a short possibly. But you see, this is very congested down to the left here. There's a low volume area here, so it might have some might be some work to get through it, and we're right at this pivot point, and I don't know. To me, we're just all just too bunched up here, even though it looks bearish. But this could go. You know, it may be looking to get back to its low of the day, overnight low. So I'm just going to watch this and possibly go short on a pullback. But I mean, just look at this area here. I mean, all the way back to here. I mean, that's a lot of congestion in this area. Even if we look at like something like that, we can even pull this even further back. To me, that looks like it's going to have a little bit of trouble. So maybe we could consider waiting for it to pass through it, a pullback into it, and then maybe go short. Just watching this before we commit to it. So the two things to consider would be just a nice pullback to, say, like the 9 EMA. See if it will reject it and then take a short, or we could wait till it breaks this whole consolidation area. I guess this would be, well, I don't know if that really is an area of supply or not. I mean, I guess it is a bit. It didn't really pull out of it that hard. I mean, it had a bit of movement out of it, but not like super aggressive. But anyway, the idea would be maybe to pass through this and then later on wait for it to revisit it, reject it, and then get a scalp there. At this point, with 20 minutes left in the stream, I'd hesitate to risk my little bag. We ended up at the moment, if you're just tuning in, we're up about $540. That might be slightly off because of commissions, but it's pretty close. So 540. These are all just one trade on 4 different accounts. These two were on trading E-minis, 1 E-mini per account, and these were 1 micro per account. So we ended up with a total of $540. And I am happy with that. All right, now we've broken through that area, so we could see if it revisits that. Put a line here. There's some hits on that line. So we might actually get it down to somewheres in there. We're just watching, but we're getting late in the stream, so it'd have to be a pretty good setup for me to take it at this point. All right, now we've broken through that area that we mapped out, and if it's accurate, we could consider a pullback into it. And what's nice is now the 9 EMA is starting to line up with that box that we've drawn. So maybe we can consider a pullback up to that 9 and then go short. But she's moving down pretty aggressively, so we may not get that chance. Looks like 45, 46 is some resistance there, or support, I guess it would be. I just panicked there for a minute that I thought that my mic was muted. It's like, don't tell me I've been talking for half an hour and the mic was muted, but I think we're okay. Yeah, it looks like we're all right. That was nice, though. It bounced very decisively off of the overnight open here. And she is just moving down, boy. Look at the 2,000 tick, see what she tells us. This trade, I really should pay more attention to 2,000 tick chart because I think it tells us a lot more. I mean, you see this nice little pullback here. This was a nice lower high. We could have went short right below this green bar on a beautiful bearish bar here. Yeah, that would have been pretty darn nice. And you see what happened here is we would have went short at 63 1/4. And you notice that this green bar here came back just to collect everybody. So if you would have went short here, you might have pulled your stop to break even. This bar came back, collected all those stops, and whoosh, down, straight down. So you kind of, at least my thoughts are, you're probably better to not move your stop to break even until a first sort of test of that entry point, and just risk your 3 points or whatever it is that you were going to risk. You'd probably put your a tick above these bars here, which is probably a pretty good place for it. And then wait for it to pull back and try to collect these stops where you entered. And then once it starts moving, then pull your stop to break even. At least that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on the 1 minute. I'm not really sure that time-based charts are the way to go, just because 60 seconds is, just sort of an arbitrary number, whereas at least with the ticks, they're based on actual price action. These bars will form after 20 ticks of movement. A lot of different charts. Guys use other price action based time frames too, like range charts along with the tick charts. It's interesting that they, regardless of what time frame or what kind of chart you're using, they always, the charts respond to EMAs and things like that, because they're all forming based on that chart. Because you noticed when we were in the 3 minute versus the 1 minute, on the 3 minute we might have been below the EMAs, where on the 1 minute we're above them. So they'll always respond it. So you can almost play any kind of chart with the same strategy, and it could work. This is a nice pullback to the 21. We shot through it on the 2,000 tick chart though. And now that's a higher high from the last pivot, I think. Trying to see the last pivot. Guess that's it right there. This bar here, so that's a higher high. So for instance, we could make the argument that we have this channel here, a break, new low, and now we're forming a reversal. We're above the 21 EMA, pull back to it, go long off of the 21 EMA. That's a possible price action strategy. That now this downtrend, plus we had 2 legs down too. We might even have a measured move. That's pretty close to a measured move too. So 2 legs down, breaking a new low, worked our way up above the 21 EMA. So this could definitely be setting up as a reversal. So you might consider even looking for longs at this point. But who knows? Could be come back and form a double bottom. But I think that'll be it for me today. And as far as trading goes, I'll stick with you for another 10 minutes or so. But, one trade, $550. That's a good day. Yeah, the 1 minute chart certainly not looking bullish. Yeah, even the 2000s breaking down here. At the moment, this is a higher low, obviously, so we'll have to see how this bar closes, but she's breaking down, boy. The moment it's looking like it might want to come back down and test this low again. Certainly not clear what's going on now, because I certainly wouldn't want to go long, but at the same time, I don't think I want to go short either. It's building some wicks on the 2000 chart, but we're still below the EMAs. Now it looks like we're getting kind of trapped in this consolidation area right here. Now we did draw up this area, but now you can also see that this area here is also a place to get stuck. Can draw another one in there. Or this could have just been one big area, but you see that it got stuck in here. Rejected this area, now it's stuck in this area, but there's all kinds of nonsense going on right here. So I think this is a perfect area to get trapped and chopped to pieces. You can see our volume area here. It's kind of playing inside of there too. So what we might be looking for is it to break through this low volume area and then head up to the top of this high volume area, or the opposite here. If it starts to move through this low volume here, it could just keep going. And we do have the Fed meeting on Wednesday, I think, so we might have some kind of choppy action too going into it. So even though it said this morning there was some pretty good movement, obviously nice run up, and then look at how much more aggressive the bearish action is than the bullish. I mean, we could probably guess that just based on we had a very steady downward trend overnight, and then on the open we had a nice run up, but then look, I just gave it all up in a very short time. I mean, that's from like 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. That's an hour. Gave back almost everything it gained from the open. But that's all you need. You need one good trade. You can be patient, and hopefully you made a good analysis of the situation and took your trade, got your movement. Don't bail on it too quickly. And, especially if you have multiple accounts like you do with, in a prop firm like Apex, you limit your risk per account. One trade, we're up 550, 540 for the day, and we can, 10 o'clock, I'm in Central Time, so 10 o'clock in the morning, we've made 550, we're done for the day. Got to do it every day, though. That's the tricky part. When you have a job, your boss never asks you for the money back the next day. So you can't get too excited about, look at that, I made $550 in an hour. It's like, yeah, well, tomorrow you may lose $1,000 in 10 minutes, so not quite the same apples to apples comparison between trading and having a job, is it? Even if having any other kind of business, I mean, I guess you could lose money in your business by something going wrong on a particular day. But anyway, so there we are. We made 540 on the day. That's a good day. And I think that that's probably all the trading I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to shut down the screens and enjoy the below zero weather here in Chicago by staying in the house. And I think I'm going to try to put together some of the, like I said, I shot a little video with a stupid little panic button I made for my trading computer. And I'm going to try to edit that down, and then I'm going to maybe try to plan out some beginners tutorials to help people maybe if they're just getting started. But that's for the future. But that's it. It is 11 o'clock Eastern now, 10 o'clock Central, and I think I'm going to call it a day. I am surely thankful that you stopped by to trade with me, and hopefully you made some money today, and I'm happy, and we will be back again tomorrow for another round. Look for me at about 9:20 Eastern. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and also hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I go live every morning. All right, well, I appreciate everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.